Today we're in San Elijo Hills and we're going to answer the question, is this the best master plan community in all of San Diego? Let you guys decide. We're going to show you the neighborhoods, what it's all about, the vibe, what's there to do up here, and kind of give you some insight into what it would be like living here. So let's go take a look at San Elijo Hills.
So from up here at Double Peak Park, you can see all the different communities of San Elijo Hills, and they really range from condos, you've got starter homes, you've got kind of that next level step up, and then you've got incredible view homes, up in that $3 million mark, where you can see kind of the view that we've got up here, but from your house. So there's just a ton of different options when you're thinking about housing here in San Elijo Hills.
And after we cruise through all these neighborhoods, we're gonna hop into the map and show you where it's at, where the neighborhoods were, just so you get your bearings and get a little bit more in depth, like about where San Elijo is and what it's all about. All right, in San Elijo, there's at least 30 plus different neighborhoods, and kind of the theme or how it works is the higher up on the hill you get, the bigger the houses get, the bigger the lots get, the more expensive they get as well. So we're in one of the higher end neighborhoods here in San Elijo. We're near the top of the hill. There's another big one across the way called the Estates. That's even bigger homes, but you'll find a few gated communities.
This one is Summit, and this is gated. The other one that Chris just mentioned is also gated, the Estates. But there are a bunch kind of in the middle section that aren't gated.
Yeah, I think the biggest selection of homes is kind of in that middle section.
So up in this higher area, the elevation higher, price points higher, you're going to be kind of in that 4,000 square foot plus for most of these. Bigger lots like Chris mentioned, so you have pools, there's basketball courts, sports courts and stuff in some of the yards also. Right here in the heart of San Elijo Hills in the town center area, right in front of Sets, which is one of the bigger restaurants here. Full bar, tons of good food, good spot. But you got a lot of other options too. You've got Lourdes, which is a great taco shop right over here around the corner. A restaurant just closed recently, and there's talks that it might be a sushi spot, so that would be awesome. And then you've got Shane's, which is a great pizza spot, and just kind of all the other amenities that you'd need. You've got postal annex, dry cleaner, a whole ton of things to keep you from having to leave the area. If you do need that bigger box store setup, we often go west and go to like Target in Encinitas, Home Depot in Encinitas, but you can also go over the hill in San Elijo and find those same things in San Marcos too. So now we're walking through Atherton, which is one of the communities where you have the kind of the size of home that we have the most of here in San Elijo Hills, kind of in that 3,000 square foot range. Like I said, there's a lot of these here kind of up on the top side of the hill, but also as we're gonna walk out over here, you can see a whole ton of them. And that's just kind of the majority of the houses that are in San Elijo Hills.
Yeah, there's just a ton of different neighborhoods. So as we're walking up right now, one of the, I think, big benefits when they built this out is they included a bunch of trails, which we just connected to right now. And this one's, once you get to the end, it's a little steep, but a lot of trails, kind of trailheads throughout a lot of these communities as well. So if you need to get outside, cruise around, this is like a great little spot, but great vantage point. Once we get to the end here, I'm gonna spin you guys around just to show you how it looks from up here. So we're at a little bit lower. We started way behind us over here. Here's a continuation of this style neighborhood that we're in right now. You got trails looping around here. There's trailheads down there. This big hill back here, there's trails going up there. So just a lot of ways to get lost back here, which is kind of a good thing. And one other style neighborhood that's in here that we're not gonna cruise through, but it's Belmont, which is detached condos. You can see it right in the distance back there, but it's like very small lots. But you do have, it lives kind of like a single family home, but they really crunched them in there. So what was the story of it?
Small, so they started building, when they were building the models, they were 3-story units. So they were all stairs. So they got really negative feedback. And so they kind of went back to the drawing board. So there's like 7 or 8 buildings that are all 3-story, and then they switch completely to 2-story. And they're really, the houses themselves are cool floor plans, but like Chris said, tight, small yards, no driveways. So there's just some trade-offs, but the price point is kind of right around $1 million, so it's affordable for San Elijo.
We're walking towards another trailhead right now. I don't know if you guys can see little Santa in the back, but this area is really big for Christmas time. There's like lights strung out across roads. There's a ton of decorations.
There's also a huge Santa that we're walking towards.
Giant Santa. Like,
40 feet tall.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. Go check it out. I'm going to drop it today. Giant Santa we're looking at, but we're hooking up with another trail right now that's actually connects a lot. It's like not the lower area, but you can go to the lower area from San Elijo right here as well.
So from here, these trailheads you'll see in the mornings and the afternoons are used by kids and parents a lot for getting to San Elijo Elementary and Middle School. There's also, we just kind of went from the upper area of San Elijo, which all feeds into Double Peak schools. We'll show you on the map just to kind of give you bearings. But from up there, you're feeding into Double Peak, where down here, you're feeding into the San Elijo Elementary and Middle Schools.
And if you guys are thinking about moving out this way, you got some more questions, you want to pick our brains about San Elijo, San Marcos, or any other neighborhoods here in San Diego, hit us up. If you're thinking about making the move, call, text, or email. We got your back when making the move here in San Diego. So if you want coastal living, San Elijo Hills is not really going to be the spot. You're 20-25 minutes, which we're going to show you on the map here shortly anyways. So you're not like right there, and if there's not anything you need right here, the big box stores, Targets, Home Depots, Cassidy said, obviously you're going out of here, but it is convenient. You really, like, as far as walkable, if like right here in the center of town, Morgan's Corner, a few of these, you know, down lower areas in San Elijo Hills, they are actually going to be walkable to all this stuff, which you don't find a ton right here in North County, San Diego. So San Elijo is in a HOA. It's a master plan community, so there is a small HOA for a lot of these communities. Some of the condos obviously have higher HOAs, but some of the amenities that come with here, we're walking through kind of the main park here. So you got a dog park here. There's some ball fields. There's another soccer field up top, multi-use field, if you will.
So this park area, along kind of with the fountain, like town center area of San Elijo, is where you have a lot of events year-round. Oktoberfest is one of the really popular ones. The tree lighting in town is another big one. So there's just some of those events that happen throughout the year. So now we're in the lower section of San Elijo Hills. Right next to us on our left is Morgan's Corner, which is the largest concentration of townhomes here in San Elijo Hills. So if you're looking for that kind of starter price point, this is definitely a good spot. And they are pretty large townhomes, which is cool, and attached garages. There's a lot of positives. Community pool. And right in the heart of San Elijo. So you're right next to a grocery store, all the shops and restaurants and stuff. And then just on your right here is kind of that 2,000 square foot style home, kind of that, not entry level, but just a little tick above entry level for detached houses here in San Elijo.
Now we're back in the studio. I'm going to hop into the map real quick and give you kind of the tour that we just went through so you could see a little bit more visual about everywhere we went in the layout of San Elijo Hills. So let's get into it. Hopping into it right here, this little dot, that's going to be San Elijo Hills. As we zoom in here, if you click on it on a map on Google Maps, it's actually a bigger area than this. So where we covered, it's this whole area going out here, cruises down along this way, goes out and around here and back this way. So it's a much bigger than what you did click on the map. As we hop into the 3D view, you can see San Elijo Road is the main road going right up through San Elijo. That's the only road in, the only road out. You could cut back here, South Twin Oaks, that'll get you back to San Marcos, or where you came in right over here is Rancho Santa Fe. That's the Carlsbad area. So San Elijo is all this section in here. And where we started was right up here at Double Peak Park. And there are some fantastic views up here. We actually started in the parking lot right here, but you can head to the top, grab a little snack if you want to get your bearings and just kind of, well, first off, fantastic view, but then also just kind of see lay of the land from up here. So that's the very tippy top of the hill. You can see there's some trail offshoots going off here, going down there. That's what we'll get into, show you where the trails we went to. The first little neighborhood we cruised to was this little section here off Ledge Street. We filmed right up in this area. And this is one of those high-end neighborhoods. It's one of the gated communities in there. You can see larger homes, not insanely big lots, but some larger lots compared to a lot of the other areas in San Elijo. But the large, super big lots are right across the way here. This is the estates. So as we zoom in, you can see a lot of these homes on the outside where you're overlooking the hill have fantastic views. These ones, not so much. They do have some views from the second levels and stuff, but I mean, look at this pool, a little bit of chipping green. You got all kinds of stuff back there. So you see a lot of pools, a lot of vanishing edge pools right in this little zone here, where you do have fantastic views all around here. From there, we shot on down to the town center right in here. And this is like the little central point of San Elijo Hills, where you have the fountain, you have the ballparks and stuff over here. You have a few of the places to eat. This is the Sets, which we passed while Cassidy was chatting. Sets is a little kitchen and bar. This is where he was saying the sushi place might be. Lourdes, a Mexican food, fantastic place. Everbowl. On this side, you have Sourdough & Co. There is a Starbucks on the corner here as well. And then Shane's Pizza and Pints. And if we just go to the ground level here, there's a few more shops over here. Not too many restaurants besides Shane's, but you do have a little yogurt spot. There is a little workshop. There's a few other things in there. And then this big parking lot over on this side, this is where you'll find the Albertson. So you do have a lot of the essentials that you need right in town there. If you are going to the Target or to the Home Depot that Cassie was mentioning, a little bit more of that big box stores, you're gonna be going not too far, but you're gonna be going to this little section down here over in Encinitas. This is off El Camino Real. So Home Depots, Targets, REIs, you have the Forum right over here. You're probably about a 15-minute drive or so from this little section over here. Or you can go from San Elijo Hills right here, just down the other side of the hill too. And there's some more infrastructure on this side as well. So they won't find the Targets and stuff up there, but there's a Home Depot up here. You will have San Marcos Boulevard with a few more restaurants and stuff. Next neighborhood we hit up was right over in this section here. And this is Atherton. This is kind of one of the mid-level price communities. So here is where you start getting that expensive. Here is really expensive. This central section, and then going over into here, this section is where you have that kind of mid-zone pricing for San Elijo Hills. And you can see, like we mentioned a bunch of times in the video, you do have just a lot more homes up here, and you do have even a little bit more affordable homes kind of in this section. Back here is another little section, technically not San Elijo Hills, but so if you're back here, you're not part of the HOA, but obviously you get access all the stuff from that little section too. And then the detached condos are right in here. This is Belmont. So you can just see how tight they are in here. You do have a community pool, which a lot of these communities don't, but price points are great where you do find detached homes. So you're not sharing any walls for fairly affordable here in San Elijo Hills. And if we hop back into this view, it'll give us a little bit better idea of all the trails around. So from Double Peak, like I said, there's a few trails cutting off. Up along this crest up here, you'll find a bunch of these trails in here. And then as you get into some of these communities, there's trails cutting across, there's that go down to the park. There's trails connecting all these communities in the lower section of San Elijo. And where we filmed was like right here. So you can see some of these do lane right down. So you could cruise around right down to the schools, right down to the town center, which is a little bit further away. And then the next thing I mentioned is coastal. So where I was filming right here was right in the center of town. If you're going to the coast, the easiest route is probably going to go out to Rancho Santa Fe, and then you're going to cut down on La Costa and then go straight down to end up at Ponto right here. So from San Elijo Hills to South Ponto Beach, you're looking about 25 minutes. Next spot we went in here was the community park, which is on the central part of San Elijo Hills here, where you do have the ball fields. We play a lot of softball up there. During the week, you do have the upper hilltop field up here where you do have like you'll see a lot of soccer practices and games and all that kind of stuff out over there. You do have the dog park right here. There's a little center right here. If you're having a party or something, you could rent it out. Obviously, you go hang if you're just going to hang, but you got horseshoe pits down here. So as far as Infrastructure, like I said, there's no community center, but you will find a few parks in the center here. There is a little preschool down here. There's another little hidden park down this way. So there's a miniature little splash pad on those hot days you cruise to right over here as well. And then right from here, some of the most convenient condos you'll find in North County where you do have walkability. Here is Morgan's Corner right here. So our last little scene, we were walking down this trail right here where you have Morgan's Corner over here. And then you just have some more of that, not super entry level, but maybe not that mid-level. So kind of that between entry and mid-level homes at the bottom here. And then on the other side too, right here, you're gonna off Elephant Forest Road, you're gonna find some more condos. You're gonna find some more condos up here. There's a few that will pop up for sale, like right above the shopping areas right here. You won't see those too much. There's some in the central here, all different little styles. But if you do want condos, walkable, that is a good little spot. And then as you're driving into town, you're gonna pass the San Elijo little kind of monument right here, San Elijo Hills. As you're going into town, you do have the Albertsons off to the right. You have a gas station right here as well, so a little bit even more convenient, but you're driving up. Here's where all that infrastructure is, and here's the top of the hill, or here's some homes near the top of the hill. You can see them off in the distance there. And then this is, you know, the town center where you will find all that infrastructure as we're cruising up. Here is the fountain. And then if you guys want a nice little beer spot, Lost Abbey right here, go check that out too. A good little meeting spot if you guys want to meet there and you want to pick our brain about San Elijo Hills, hit us up. We got your back when making the move here to San Diego.